there are good arguments for the existence of God, and if Christian evidences are successful, then Christian belief is also warranted by such arguments and evidences for the person who understands them, even if that person would still be warranted if he lacked the arguments and evidence. Such a person would be doubly warranted in his Christian faith, for he would have not only the warrant of the inner witness of the Holy Spirit, but he would have the warrant of the apologetic arguments and evidences. And I think we can all imagine great benefits accruing to such a person through having this kind of double warrant for his Christian beliefs, having sound arguments for the existence of a creator and designer of the universe, or having good evidence for the historical credibility of the Gospels could increase your confidence in the truth of the Christian faith, or the availability of independent arguments and evidence for Christian truth claims apart from the witness of the Holy Spirit could prepare the heart of the unbeliever so that when he does hear the gospel and the Spirit bears witness to its truth, his heart is disposed to believe and respond to the drawing of the Holy Spirit. Or again, the argument and evidence could provide support for the believer when he goes through times of spiritual dryness or times and seasons of doubt when the Spirit's witness is not as vital and real in his life. And I imagine we could think of many other ways in which having this kind of dual warrant for our Christian beliefs would be extremely beneficial. So, the question then is, do the arguments and evidence of apologetics provide sufficient warrant to rationally justify Christian faith? Well, I think that they do. In my published work, I have defended versions of the cosmological, the teleological, the moral, and the ontological arguments for God's existence. I've also defended theism against the principal attacks of atheism, such as the problem of suffering and evil, the hiddenness of God, or the incoherence of theism. Moreover, I've argued for the authenticity of the radical personal claims of the historical Jesus about himself, whereby he put himself in the place of God. And I've argued for the historicity of the discovery of Jesus' empty tomb, his post-mortem appearances after his crucifixion, and the very origin of the disciples' belief in Jesus' resurrection. And I've argued, using the standard criteria for assessing historical hypotheses, that the best explanation of these facts is that the disciples were right. God raised Jesus from the dead. So, if these arguments and evidences are sound, then belief in Christianity is doubly warranted, both by apologetical arguments and evidence, as well as by the inner witness of the Holy Spirit. So, while apologetic arguments and evidences are not necessary in order for us to know that Christianity is true, still I think they are sufficient for us to know that Christianity is true, and having this dual warrant for our Christian beliefs can be tremendously beneficial. And so the fact that Christian apologetics may not be necessary in order to know that Christianity is true does nothing to show that apologetics is therefore useless or unimportant.